That is a lie. It is not live streaming yet.
I consented to being live streamed.
All right. And we are up.
Hello.
Oh.
And I'll do the intro. All right, everyone. Welcome to the last day of Digital Inclusion Week. We are on day 5, and I'm here with our presenters, Brimtone. Why don't you two introduce yourself and tell us what you're going to be talking about today?
Am I going first?
Yes, you're going first.
Okay, hi, I'm Kanako Hibari. I am the bassist. Sometimes I sing and I draw everything for Brimtone.
And hi, I'm Shoji. I am the guitarist, and I handle 90% of the music stuff for Brimtone.
Just real quick, the avatars on the screen, can you sound off who's who? Because I don't think it opens your mouth when you talk.
Mine. What just happened?
Oh, something crashed.
The shared window is closed. I think my Streamlabs just crashed.
Oh boy. Anyway,
Keep talking while I fix this.
so due to technical difficulties, we actually could only load Himari's model. So mine is just a flat image, a flat static image.
Shoji is the static purple-haired one. I am the one that's actually moving around and red-haired.
Correct.
Gotcha. So these avatars, these characters of yours, they're known as what exactly? How would you describe them?
Demons, best word for it. We have the
Okay.
horns.
Yeah, that's what they
Reggie.
wrote. But like when you're talking about your characters, your avatars, what are they called again? VTubers or something like that?
Yes. Our virtual YouTubers, sometimes also referred to as V-streamers if they don't specifically use YouTube as a platform. That's just a personal preference for people, though.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what I just did to break this.
For once, it wasn't me.
Anyways, while I fix this, it has been a boom recently. Over the past year or so, it's exploded in popularity as like quarantine has gone on. A lot of people have picked it up since it's a hobby that you could be social with people while still being at home. Some of the more notable ones have broken kind of into the mainstream, especially in Japan. They're really popular in Japan. Kizuna Ai is a really popular one that was like the groundbreaker. We're nowhere near that crazy level, though. We are just a band who likes to make music and uses our avatars to do so.
I think that's a pretty short, apt description. You like to perform music and you show off, your performance using your avatars. That sums it up. That's a lot simpler than the explanation I've been giving every time folks come in for a tour of the makerspace. I usually describe you guys as like a modern day gorillas, which doesn't make any sense because the gorillas is already modern day. And what else? They're pre-animated in that they don't really do live shows. They're just kind of a cartoon.
Yeah, that's one of the more notable distinctions between us and the gorillas at the moment. We have live animated avatars. So we're being captured by cameras and our models are projecting what our faces are doing.
Is my screen come back?
Yes.
Yeah, you're back online.
Okay, cool. So for the avatars, what we do, I hand drew and rigged them, but we basically have puppets almost is a word you can use to describe it, in which you could see that my model is moving around. I can do things and my mouth moves. Unlike Shoji, who cannot be chroma keyed for any reason.
Yeah, we had
But
issues getting the capture.
it is in this program here, Cubism. We do everything by hand. We tell the computer how we want it to move. It is put through a different program for us to pilot the puppet, but this is how it gets put together.
Okay. Looks like it's a lot of steps involved just to blink an eye.
You have no idea. It's a lot of fun to learn, but it is a very steep learning curve. Again, though, because of the recent popularity of VTubers, more resources to learn this are readily available. When I first started to rig them, all of my resources were in very badly translated Japanese.
Ah, joy. So not
It
only we're
is.
learning a completely new technology, but a new language as well.
It is much easier to get into this now because, like I said, it's had a huge boom. There's a lot of amazing resources to actually get started. As you can see, there is a lot of layers involved with this.
Okay. Yeah, I could see like for people that may be familiar with graphic design programs, it does incorporate like layer control, and that seems to be like the bread and butter of it.
Layer control is absolutely the most vital thing that I can say, and also keeping them in trees. Because if you like put something in the wrong layer, it's going to pop over. It's going to not look great. And it's all about the drawing order.
Right, right.
So like, for example, the blush here has to go underneath all of the eye layers, the mouth layer, and the glasses layer, but it has to stay above the head.
Yeah, which is like a cascading effect where you always have to make sure that the head is on the right layer so that you can have things both behind it and in front of it.
Yes.
Okay.
As you can see, like we have mouth movement. This is the third iteration of the model I have open on the screen. I've been re-rigging it since I've learned more because people who are much better at this than me have been putting out resources for how they do it in a language I speak more fluently.
There you go. That's to keep up with that way.
I just got through a bigger move, but so concerts will probably resume in the next couple months. And hopefully then I'll have much better, quality models and graphics in general to show for it.
Well, that's great. You've definitely come a long way since the last time I kind of like peeked behind the scenes, and I'm sad to have missed your debut. How long ago did you guys do? What was it? Your first performance?
That was July, I believe.
Yeah, give or take. So like a few months at least.
Okay, very cool. I'm gonna pick on Shoji here because he's been a little quiet.
Wonderful.
I'm sure you can speak more to what are some of the challenges of being a virtual band as opposed to traditional band.
So one major component that's very difficult about being a band that plays live is the actual live audio. So that's something that Oak Hill has been great about helping us about because the mixer that is on site is or has plenty of inputs for us to use when we are trying to capture our instruments as well as our voices at the same time. Also, it has a room that is acoustic treated, so that way we don't get too much echo whenever we're doing any of our performances.
I think the biggest issue during our debut is the fact that this also takes a lot of computer power to run everything.
Right.
Our debut stream, if you watch it, we did have our models active and tracking, but because of the CPU usage from the music program, all of the things we had open for it, it just overloaded it.
Oh,
it was an experience.
Yeah, whereas usually you just walk out on stage with your guitar and have at it. You don't have to worry about what percentage is my CPU usage at or anything like that.
Correct. Yeah. And
So,
also is, go ahead.
I mean, if you got more to your answer, I won't stop you. Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to speak a little bit more with the resources that Oak Hill provides. So in the multimedia lab, there is also an audio workstation available and plenty of keyboards to help input any virtual or digital music that you want to be trying to get in. So that's also been a big help as we've been trying to get started.
Oh my goodness. Himari, what are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to go back to there.
Having a heck of a time. So one thing that a lot of independent artists run into when their point of origin is just the internet is getting their name out there in a world where it's so easy to just make yourself a handle, a username, and cultivate this virtual identity, how do you stand out among the masses?
A lot of what we have done specifically, I have not seen many other VTube bands, if any at all, which does give a slight edge. But it is a difficult challenge. There's a lot of, like I said, it's a boom. A lot of people are starting this hobby. To get yourself to stand out, it's just a lot of networking and just continuing at it. You have to just keep putting out the content, just working and trying to grow. A lot of what we do is via Twitter and YouTube. So Twitter is where a lot of the networking itself happens. YouTube is where we actually do live streams. Individually, we live stream as well as together as a band.
Okay. So people can either follow Brimtone or they can follow the virtual personas individually.
Yes.
That's
So like
cool.
I have people who are individually Humanity fans themselves, and I appreciate every single one of them. And we have people who follow only Brimtone, not either of us.
Right. Well, even for myself, I keep coming back to the gorillas, but everyone has their favorites. And any kind of attention is good attention when it comes to marketing. So if you can get one person really into the Humari persona, that's just good for the band overall, because you can't know one without the other, it seems.
It is also a fun time just being able to do this as a hobby, just being able to make music. The connections you make are fun ones. A lot of really awesome people are into this. Like I could say very happily, I've done a lot of new things I haven't been able to do after starting this project. It's also just a lot of so much technical work.
A lot of technical work, but it's definitely worth it. In the past couple of months through networking, I met some people that I definitely would not have met otherwise because of either our shared interest in VTubing or through the interest in VTubing as its own thing.
Okay. So it's apparent that in order to get into this hobby, as you've been calling it, is you obviously want to have a strong background in some kind of graphic design, or am I incorrect on that?
It depends on what you are getting into VTubing itself for. For us, we are a couple of broke people, so I drew and rigged everything myself. So there was a lot of drawing knowledge that went into it, because to make a live 2D model, actually, I think I can't open it. I'll get started on opening that. You have to draw everything, cut it a very specific way, and rig it, which, as you can see by the program I've been playing with for the past 20 minutes, it looks like NASA. But
so kind of to Himanari's points, some people do get into it with no graphic design or anything knowledge. They would commission somebody to make the model, and then somebody else, for example, to rig the model in Cubism.
Okay. So if you're doing it all yourself, yes, you're gonna need that background in graphic design, in rigging, which is a 3D modeling concept. But
did you see the change in window?
Yes.
Yes, I see it.
Okay. Oh, that's why I can't see it.
Streamlabs is in the way.
Streamlabs is in the way?
Yes.
Yeah, there's some kind of interface up. I can't tell you what it is.
Oh, okay. It decided to destroy my output projector.
Oh.
Okay. How about now?
It's still there.
How about now?
Getting out of hand. Now there are
No.
two of them.
Oh man.
Why are there two projector outputs? How about,
Now you close everything.
okay, we're gonna restart that screen share, projector output, share.
While she's getting that set up, oh, never mind, we're back.
Okay,
Good.
so like he said, like people can commission models. They can get very expensive depending on who you go through for obvious reasons. You have to individually draw everything. Here, have a bald humidity.
Oh my goodness.
Everything is individually drawn, so it can be layered and moved accordingly. I'm just going to quietly make this character more and more bald.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. How if you want something to move, essentially, it has to be its own layer.
Every single thing you see has individual layer to create more detailed motion.
Okay.
Some of these are definitely more interesting than others. But it does take a lot of effort. You can, however, like Shoji said, you can get into it without knowing anything about graphic design as long as you have the correct programs and somebody can create a model for you. I know
Okay.
people who there are free use models out there that exist that they have taken advantage of using those because they don't use it as like a professional thing. It's just a hobby for them and they have an avatar they can use.
I get you. So let's check off the boxes here. Powerful computer, graphic design, or know someone that is in graphic design. A little bit of 3D modeling, some rigging knowledge is involved, maybe not required. Again, if you know someone. But is there anything else that I'm missing here? What would you recommend to someone who has an interest in accomplishing something like this? Maybe not
Know
the
what you're
goal.
getting into it for.
Okay, so have a goal in mind.
For us, this is something that we do for fun. This is a nice hobby. We do concerts, something for us to improve our individual already existing skills. For some people, they will spend lots of money on their models and their setups because they wish to do this as a profession, which is fair. But, it depends on what you want out of it. So you don't have expectations or you spend more than you should for what you're doing.
All right. So don't go down the rabbit hole unless you know what you're buying.
Good way to describe it. Good way to describe it.
That seems to be the real detriment of if you don't know what you're doing, you can end up spending too much money and it all going to waste.
I mean, I can't say that I don't know anybody who's gotten into a hobby, dropped like $1,000 on the best stuff for the hobby, and then realized they don't like to do the hobby.
Yeah, that's
I think
pretty.
we've all done that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I didn't come prepared with a sheet of questions. So, is there any other talking points that you think you'd like to cover?
There are a lot of VTubers who are more mainstream. It's been interesting seeing them come into the mainstream. Like I said, Japan is the most obvious case. They've had like whole like events at Akihabara before just for the HoloLive VTubers. There's some in America that have like started to break through to that. I think it was BBC did an interview with a couple of the girls from V Shoujo, as well as I've seen like musical artists interact with some of the more top tier VTubers like Calliope Modi and Wu-Tang Clan. So it's just interesting to see how this digital medium where, we all have like a persona and an avatar could still make their way into the tangible real world with the more, what's the word I'm looking for here? There's a word I'm looking for it, more general public and general, what's more mainstream.
Common knowledge.
Yeah.
I feel like I get where you're coming from, especially now that they're playing esports and sports bars. That's always an interesting sight to see.
Oh yeah, Cloud9 as a VTuber now.
Wow.
Yeah, like it's become a thing. It's don't know how long it's going to stay in the mainstream, but it's cool seeing it become something in the mainstream. Like I said, like BBC did an interview with a couple of the girls from V Shoujo. If you want to get like what their take on the whole VTubing situation is,
it's a cool thing that people are expanding on. And as far as the music side goes, probably one of the big things to understand is if you're getting into any of the software, understand what you're getting it for, because each digital audio workstation has different things that it's good to do. So the one that I use mostly is best for tracking the instruments, which is recording them analog, doing composing through MIDI, which would be digital instruments, and doing mixing and mastering to get a final product. Some others like Pro Tools can do similar things, but it does not have as friendly components for composing, or some like Reaper would be more for tracking as well. So it's about knowing what you're getting into. FL Studio, if you're interested in digital music, for example.
Okay, that's wonderful insight. Thank you, Shoji. I would say we are about out of time here. I'm looking at the live chat and it doesn't seem like anyone has any burning questions right now. However, if you're watching this archived video after it's already been streamed, by all means, reach out to the Oak Hill Collaborative page and we'll be able to forward your questions along over to Himari or Shoji over at Bremetone. Thank you both, despite all the technical difficulties. Really
There's so many.
Yeah, it was really cool just to kind of see behind the Wizard of Oz's curtain, see some of the software that you use, some of the workflow, and understand what all goes into it. So if you want to give any parting comments, go ahead. Otherwise, I think we're good to go.
Thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate, the interest, and we're sorry we had half an hour of technical difficulties.
And thank you again to Oak Hill Collaborative for having us to speak and to allowing us to use your space to make progress in this project.
All right. Thank you so much. Now I have to run across the room to end the stream.
Run, Anthony, run. He can't hear me.
No, he can't.
Thank you for stopping by, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.